Welcome back. Well, that's how it went on that hangout. Of course, you saw all those faces, all those people condemning violence before, during, and even after the election. But we shift our attention back to the studios where Femi Bellows is joining us at the moment. Femi, thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you, Victor.
That was a discussion that went on the hangout. But what's your own take? What do you see? How do you think we can unite for peace? I mean, so that we don't have these troubles, before, during, and even after the elections.
Well, concerning uniting for peace, for violence-free polls, I think a step in the right direction has been taken already, signing the election peace pact. That is a very good thing. However, beyond the pacts now, it is left for the contestants, the political parties, to stand true to their word, to obey and follow the spirit and the letters of the pact which they have signed. And if they are able to do this, then I'm sure that it will go a long way in reducing, if not totally, removing any form of violence that may exist either before, during, or after the elections.
All right, so just before even the elections begin, I mean, we've seen pockets of dissent somewhere in some places where campaign trails are being stoned. How do you think we can get past such sad incidents?
Well, I'll still fall back to the contestants and their parties. If Party A, for example, claims that he's part of an election peace pact, then if his supporters do anything contrary to that, he should be able to come out and speak against the actions of their supporters. I think that's one thing that has been lacking in the Nigerian polity, the fact that people contesting for public office don't just come out to speak against the actions of their supporters. They should be able to exude total control over their supporters.
Yeah, now that's what I was going to harp on, the fact of not having total control over supporters, because some might just believe in the cause, and no matter how much you talk, they still go on with what they believe.
Okay.
How do you think we can, what measures do you think should be put in place so that, I mean, because if you hold a politician to his words, how then do you hold his own supporters?
Well, if you hold a politician to his words, his supporters, they wouldn't just act independently. They always take a cue, they take something. For example, if I lose in the elections, what do I come out to say thereafter? If a politician says that the election was rigged or he believes it was rigged, in a way that is some form of incitement. And someone somewhere, some supporter somewhere will just take that up. What they should do, those contesting for public office, they still have a lot of responsibility to play on the supporters. Once they've done all of these things, you now know that any supporter that engages in any act of violence is solely on his own, and he can be prosecuted by law.
Well, talking about the law, how effective has it been in terms of prosecuting electoral malpractices? And I mean, because electoral violence falls under that malpractice, how efficient will you say it has been in the past and going forward now?
Well, to be fair, I wouldn't say it has been very efficient because it takes a lot of time. And once it takes so much time, there's suspicion of malpractice even at the tribunals and all of that. And people tend to lose trust even in the courts seeking redress and all of that. So one of the things that needs to be done moving forward is to ensure that cases are resolved as soon as possible, as quickly as possible. And also beyond that, we have laws in the land that have to do with violence. So if these laws can actually be put into action, already you've been hearing the Inspector General of Police has been saying a number of things, the commissioners of police in different states, they're saying different things, trying to ensure that people do not engage in any violent acts, and if anybody does, then such individuals get prosecuted. So far, the process has not been very, very good, but I think that a lot more can be done. And already from what we see in the papers, in the dailies, in the news, we know that they're already taking steps to ensure that the process is improved upon.
Okay, Femi, looking at the fact that the elections has been postponed for 6 weeks, now we're 2 days or so here into the 6 weeks because we were supposed to have elections on Saturday, February 14th. What pointers are you seeing? How prepared do you think we will be? Because some reasons were given for this postponement, but what do you think about it?
Well, owing to the reasons that were given for the postponement, the security challenge in the north is topping the agenda. Already we've seen in the last few days, well, reports say that the military are making headway already in the northeast. That is not to negate the fact that recently we heard news of 1 or 2 bombings as well, and some rumors here and there. So yes, they are making headway. What about the bombings? What happens? Are they being stopped? You know, a lot of people have the fear that what couldn't be stopped in a very long while can it now be stopped in a very short while? These are the questions that every Nigerian keeps on asking himself and asking his neighbor as well. I still believe that at the expiration of the 6 weeks, no matter what happens, the elections should go on.
Well, elections should go on.
Yes.
That's why we'll have to hold it at this moment. Thank you for coming on the program and sharing your insights and your thoughts on this very contentious and very, very important issue. Fami Bellows, thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. You had them all, but we'll take a quick break, and when we return, we're going to take a look at some of the comments that you've been sending from home and also look at the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. Please don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
Everyone has a role to play in the development of an economy, so there is a need to understand news and information from the business world. Business Incorporated brings you a platform that connects with the issues and personalities and explains the news and developments in the financial markets.
We should stop being a country that is importing. We should be export-dependent economy.
We not only bring you the story, but take you through the reasons for the story.
The policy direction of inflation, exchange rate, and interest rate must be seen also in enhancing the quality of life of Nigerians and promoting employment generation.
Join me as we make sense of issues with insights from all sectors of the economy. Watch Business Incorporated every Friday only on Channels Television.
This week's 5th most watched video is the former military head of state's confidence that election will hold on the newly announced dates.
I have every confidence that there will be elections on the new dates. The outcome depends on you and me. If we vote in a very peaceful environment, there will be good outfit.
The president has a grand plan.
Next is another former military head of state and democratically elected President Olusegun Obasanjo accusing President Jonathan of postponing the general elections to suit his political ambition.
The president is trying to play Gbagbo. Gbagbo was the former president of Côte d'Ivoire. And Gbagbo made sure he postponed the election in his country until he was sure he would win.
Some people ask, oh, will Nigeria wipe out Boko Haram within 6 weeks if in 6 years they were unable to do so? And I said, no.
At number 3 is the president promising that he will do his best to reclaim towns captured by Boko Haram militants. In second place is a fracas that ensued between students and bus drivers in Ekiti State. And at number 1 is the drama that ensued during the election to vote in new leaders of the Nigeria Labour Congress.
In one booklet, this is materials that have been prepared with the intent to read this election. Whatever result we get from this election today will not be acceptable to Nigerian workers. It's not about that this election should be null and void.
Well, there you go. Those were some of the comments you sent. And of course, that very disturbing video. It's not so nice to see, looking at the fact that the elections are coming in very soon. However, there is no certainty that a number of these challenges nor their different possible manifestations will be significantly curtailed or dealt with before elections take place. But what is certain is that Nigerians want elections that will be peacefully organized and significantly free and fair. We end this edition of Channels Beam on this note, but continue through the social media addresses showing on your screen. I'm Victor Matthias. Thank you for watching.